Indy Propaganda. I'm Valerie Green.
And I'm Joy Mills.
And today we are back on video, live but not live, with Mike Angel. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
We jumped on the video. We recorded a podcast earlier this week, but so much has changed and happened since then that we kind of wanted to, and we really like this new video platform that we really wanted to hop back on with Mike. We have to keep it under 40 minutes because we have the free Zoom account.
Balling on a budget.
We have $14 in our Anchor our podcast account, and Joy was like, should we use that to buy the first month of the premium version? I was like, well, maybe not. She's like, yeah, in a couple weeks we might need it for food. So, which is not funny, but in a way.
It is funny.
Mike, how are you doing? How's Montana? How's your dog?
How are you, Montana? High five? High five? Yeah.
She's like, you're home. It's awesome.
She's doing all right.
Cute.
I think the dogs are happier than anything with everyone home.
We're doing all right. I have a bit of a cough. I don't know if I have the 19 or if I just have allergies. So.
Are you serious?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Are you worried? Do you have a fever or runny nose?
No, I don't have any of that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not worried.
Yeah.
And see, that's what's happening. Anytime someone coughs, I coughed this morning and Sergey's like, why are you coughing? My husband. I was like, I don't know. I have something in my throat. Yeah, it's really scary. I have friends that have it. And it's pretty terrifying to think about. And friends that have grandparents that have it, and they're in isolation. So yeah, like we said with Ryan, this is the new normal. I'm really happy to see your face, though. Haven't really left the house in a few days. So how about you? What have you been up to since Tuesday?
Working on some weird music, playing with my dog, planning out my garden, things like that. Just, I don't know. It's kind of nice to have this downtime. It's kind of like, aside from all the horrible stuff going on in the world, it's like the holidays, except for you don't have to see your family. So.
Man.
Oh my God, Mike. That's true.
I'm just trying to be chipper about it, you know. There's enough doom and gloom out there, so.
I'm telling you, I had to put up my entire meme album because, like, I was, like I said, if we don't laugh, then we're gonna all cry, and it's not anything to be, take not seriously, but honestly, this is just such a bizarro world that happened so fast. And yeah, it is. There are, like, maybe it's the world's way of just pressing reset on everyone.
Yeah.
My calendar
I feel like
totally clear.
I feel like we're coming to a crossroads with society where we can, like, everybody's being able to take time now to think about what's really important to them. And everybody's taking stock of what they have. And I feel like there's a lot less materialism going on right now because people are just kind of alone with their own thoughts, and they're not out in the world just shopping for random bullshit and not being subjected to other people's opinions as much. I mean, if you get online, you are, but I feel like we could really come out of this like a renaissance, and we could all find our true passions and make sure we really want to be after this, and make sure we're taking care of the world and everybody else. So, or it could go the other way and just fucking destroy it all, but who knows?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah. But the most amazing thing, like I said, I do keep finding a lot of, like, bright, silver linings to everything. All the musicians I've talked to, they're like, let's finish working on music. I'm going to write a new album. I'm going to practice and go back out on tour, like, better than ever. And, like, it makes me so happy to hear that, and it's just so interesting that all of these creative people, I'm seeing it in comedy and music. You've got your open mic night people that are putting their performances online. I don't think every musician should put their performance online.
You can't
Definitely
you
not.
can't get on now without like 7 live streams going on at once at least. So,
They're not always great, but
they're not always great, but some of them are. But you know
some
what?
people don't even get it. Some people are like doing it at 7 a.m. and they're just so anxious to share their music with the world.
Yeah, they're like, I'm not going to be in front of people for a while. So some people are jumping on it, and other people, like, they'll probably start doing it once they're bored out of their minds in a couple of weeks. But so Mike Angel, most people know you, no introduction needed. But for those of you that have not had the pleasure, Mike is a huge part of the music community in Indianapolis. I recently dubbed you the mayor of Fountain Square. So Mike is one of the owners of Square Cat Vinyl, which is music venue, record store, coffee shop, bar located in Fountain Square. You guys are a hub of musical activity. Also the owner of Interstellar Overdrive Events, putting on music festivals, and also musician yourself, Bigfoot Yancey, our band, Super Cub, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was getting ready to work on some of that stuff today, actually.
Well, I'm available to track bass at any time at all, day or night. Time doesn't exist anymore. I drink coffee whenever I want now. That's great. But
Me too. All day, every day.
So one thing we want to check on is your Square Cat team, your staff, Patrick and Kurt. How's everyone doing on the Square Cat team?
It's time for the Square Cat update with Mike Angel. Right now.
We didn't get that Tuesday.
What's everybody doing? So Pat was hard at work today, sorting records and shipping stuff out, and I'm obviously not leaving the house until I know if I have allergies or if I'm more sick. So I'm just staying in, and I've been sending out messages to check on the rest of the team to make sure they're all right. Seems like they're all right, but I haven't heard from all of them yet. So
yeah,
it's weird not being around them all every day, drinking coffee in copious amounts in Fountain Square like that. So
yeah. So in the meantime, you guys are doing online sales, right? That's available still.
SquareCatVinyl.com, our online shop, is up and running. We have a request form if there's anything that you can't find on there. We're still getting in new releases, but obviously everything's slowing down a little bit. So there might be thinning stock over time, but we're still available to shop online.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website now. It's a good selection on here.
So are you guys completely closed to the public right
now? Yeah, we are. So as of this week, we had pickups for online orders Friday and Saturday between 9 and noon. And just depending on how things go, we'll probably keep that up. But we kind of expect, I think everybody expects now that we're going to be on more of a lockdown soon. So if you read any of these articles about like online delivery guys are getting sick and going to work sick, and I think probably UPS and FedEx and all of them are going to slow down in time too. So it's really, if you think about it, trying to keep this thing from spreading, we're kind of half-assing it still. So I feel like eventually everything's just going to stop for a while.
Yeah, deliveries and shipping is definitely slowed down. Like just for example, my dog's dog food we order through chewy.com, and they are here, I think, in Indianapolis, and I'll order it and it'll literally be here the next day, and it took over a week to get it this time around, and I've been ordering from there for years. So I'm definitely seeing like shipping and mail slowing way down right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're inundated. I talked to the UPS guy the other day, and he said they're like working holiday hours, so it's a lot of workload on them. And if you think, if they're sick and they're coming into people's businesses and like seeing people and handing them stuff, they're spreading the germs too. So
there's no escaping it. There's germs everywhere.
Right. So I feel like the smart thing to do would be shut down everything, which would totally cripple the economy. But I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's weird to think about it.
It is weird. As of recording today, the latest I've heard is that Illinois is on complete lockdown. Is that what you guys have heard too?
Yes, it's a shelter in place order, which is not too far from what we're on right now, really. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
I know that New York is also on a shelter in place. They did deem liquor stores essential businesses. I thought that was interesting.
Well,
and
clearly,
I mean,
people
honestly,
would lose their minds if they
honestly,
couldn't get their liquor.
Yeah, it would be very scary. Yeah, so I don't know. I think we saw just from the past, Indiana was the last, state in our region in the Midwest to have closed down the restaurants and bars. We followed suit after Illinois, Michigan, Kentucky, and Ohio. So I think now everyone's expecting that to happen. I did hear liquor stores would be closing, but that was just, I heard that from somebody that works at a liquor store. So if that's true or not, that's kind of scary, but I hope everyone's stocked up on their local beer and from local breweries. And also that people are going to be able to continue to order records and support you guys out there.
Yeah, we're going to keep going as long as we possibly can and just see what happens, really. It's hard to believe a lot of the information coming around. There's so much misinformation being spread, so who knows when and what's going to be shut down.
Yeah, it's hard to unplug and stop just refreshing the news constantly, but it just keeps changing, it's hard to keep track of.
Right.
And it's also hard to distinguish what's accurate and what's not, because I've seen so many numbers going around for everything. So I don't know where to look most of the time.
I've been going to worldometers.com. They have, it's all empirical data and it's all sourced.
Worldometer?
Worldometer.com, something like that.
Yep.
Check it.
But, Johns Hopkins, things like that.
Yeah, that seems to be pretty accurate, and it is interesting. You can compare the curves of different countries, places that are doing it right. South Korea versus Italy. We're on a very similar curve as Italy right now.
Man, I feel for those people in Italy, and I'm
sickening.
I'm scared to think that might be us in 2 weeks. They lost 800 people yesterday, and that is just like, it's absurd to even think about.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that people can't get tested. I mean, that's the thing, is we're probably going to see numbers jump once tests become more available. I think that is partly indicative of just now we're finding out how many people have it. Not necessarily that, oh my gosh, 3,500 people in New York got it overnight. It's just that now we know they're confirmed that they have it. But that's the kind of stuff that's really hard to navigate that data. Is it spreading that fast, or is it just because now we know this many people have it, right?
Well, I think anybody with common sense would have to assume that the number's way higher than the official number because they're not testing people. But I read an interesting article on the Washington Post today about, I think it was Washington Post. I can't even remember now. I don't even believe what I'm saying, but look into it for yourself. That one of the reasons why we're not testing that much here is because every time they test someone, that doctor or nurse has to take off those gloves and that mask and all that stuff. And there's a shortage of all medical supplies. So our ill preparation for this sort of thing in this country has left us without the test as well. So we just were not ready for something like this.
No, there's a lot of denial happening in our administration, in the media, people calling it a hoax, nobody taking it seriously up until like this week. And that, I mean, I think I've heard that they're trying to put together like drive-through testing for the reason that they won't have to change all of their medical, wear and that kind of thing. As if they would if they went into a room with someone and had to completely disinfect again, that they're talking about doing the drive-through testing, which I think would be amazing. If we could,
that would be good.
Yeah, you could test tons of people, all at once and not have to be running out of supplies and using up hospital rooms and equipment and stuff like that. So I don't know. Americans are innovative. Hopefully we'll figure it out. But
they just announced today they're going to start selling like at home tests for it, but they said there's a huge margin of error, so I'm not sure why they're releasing that. So
wouldn't be very reliable. I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah, not at all.
Warning, huge margin of error.
Yeah. Literally, that's what the article said. I was like, great. So
yeah, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So Mike, are you planning on Facebook Living, or I know you had some a video on Instagram. Are you planning on sharing some music online while you've got all of this time to sit at home and do nothing but write?
I don't know. I might. I just don't. There's so many people doing it, like all the way from Ben Gibbard to some guy that just started playing guitar yesterday. So it's like, where do I fit into all that? You know,
just throw yourself in the hat.
Am I interesting enough to do that?
You are. You
me and the Yancey boys were talking about it a little bit, but I don't know when or if we would do it. So
we were just saying, have a Zoom band. That's going to be the newest thing.
Zoom band.
This is the future.
I want to know how that would sound. Probably shitty. Let's try it later. I started one a couple minutes ago with Joy and 2 bass players and a drummer.
Did you try it? Did it work? Isn't there a latency issue?
Probably. We haven't tried it yet. We just came up with the idea. We just formed the band. We don't even have a name yet. We'll have our first practice on Facebook Live. It'll be hilarious.
Perfect.
Well, I miss seeing you, Mike. This is weird. You normally let us host our podcast at Square Cat. That's like our home. Yeah, we get to use the green room. And anytime I've called Mike and asked, hey, can we swing down there? We have a podcast emergency. He's got an open door for us. So I'm glad that we can virtually talk. That at least is nice. I haven't seen any other humans in a few days besides the ones that live in my house. So it's good to see your face.
Yeah, you too. Have you been out at all to the local grocery store or anything like that?
Yeah, so was pretty busy. I am not going into the office anymore, but I had a choice because we each have like our private offices, but we can work at home. So we did go to Half Liter yesterday and ordered barbecue to support Eddie Somm and his team. I cannot believe how fast they turned around that restructuring of their carryout and drive-through and grocery market, local market. So they're not just selling prepared food, but they're selling groceries, ingredients, all kinds of stuff, bread, all kinds of different meat that you can take home and just basically shop there like a market. But you call ahead and order and go and pick it up, and you can buy beer there, even Big Lug beer. So we went and got barbecue for the whole family. We got some beer, and once we're running low on kind of supplies, then we'll go back and actually shop at the market. But he's doing that with all of his bars and restaurants, turning them into local markets, which I think is great. And they were slammed, so I was so happy to see they were busy. I couldn't get through on the phone. We had to just keep trying. So Half Liter and all the other Somm's places, Big Lug, they're all either up and running or working on it. So you can go to their websites and check out what they're doing. But definitely if you can shop locally, do that, because like you mentioned on the podcast earlier, Mike, Targets and Kroger's and Myers of the world are doing just fine, but our local businesses are not. They're reeling like we can't even imagine, That's why I want to talk to people like you and actually hear from you, your side and your experience of it, so we're all aware of what we can do and what we need to do. I
think this could be a good jumping off point for ending corporate rule in America right now. And there's a lot of love going around for the local businesses, so I hope it keeps up after this is all over. I know the local grocery stores are booming right now, so
yeah,
that's a plus. That's great to hear.
Yeah, let's kill all the big corporation stores. Let's kill Walmart and all that.
Now's the time.
Yeah.
Now is the time.
But they're just a slam too. All of their shelves are empty right now. So
Yeah, and I just hope that people are going to be financially, healthy to, uh, start new businesses when this is over. And but I do think you're going to see a boomerang effect that when the ban, is lifted, I mean, people are going to be bum rushing bars and restaurants and Square Cat Vinyl and kind of
Yeah.
starved for, personal interaction and being able to be
Mhm.
normal again. So I think there'll be a big rush on our local businesses, because you don't realize until you don't have it how huge of a part of your life it is, how big of a part events are in your life, gatherings of
Right.
any sort,
Right. I'm nervous. I'm anxious to see what the world is going to look like after this, because this has such a massive effect on everybody, like all 7 billion people. And a lot of scientists, they're saying that it'll probably be 18 months before there's a vaccine out. And so, however many months this lasts, this will probably go on for a couple months at least, I imagine, where we're all kind of distancing. But when we go out into the world and we all start gathering again, this thing could just bounce right back, when we're all together until there's a vaccine. So I'm kind of nervous that this could possibly change the landscape of how we gather as people for the next, for the foreseeable future. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, until everyone gets it, I honestly, I don't think that people are going to be able, they simply cannot be locked down for an endless amount of time. We cannot survive. And eventually it may end up being that, you know, everyone just has to get it for it to go away. I don't know. It's really, really scary to turn all those scenarios over in your mind.
It is plenty of time to do that too.
Too much time.
We have like 14 guests scheduled out today. I scheduled them all within an hour because no one has shit to do. That was incredible. I've never had an easy of a time coordinating multiple people as I have today. Everyone's like, when can you do it? Well, I'm flexible, wide open. So that's good that we can talk to a whole lot of people. Joy and I are just happy to have something to do and feel like we kind of have a purpose and can hopefully share information and everyone's experiences so people especially know they're not alone, with all of this.
Right.
Have you received any news about local or federal aid for small businesses or anything like that on your end yet?
So we Indianapolis got declared a disaster area, so we could apply for we applied for the disaster SBA loan.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Arts Council has some kind of, what is it? The Arts Council
Relief Fund.
That's right, yeah, for artists and employees of nonprofits that are arts related.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually don't know if I qualify for that. But I was going to see if I did, and we told our staff to check it out. So
I think you do. We're trying to get somebody I messaged them. I want to talk to somebody from there, a representative about that. But we'll link to that with this post. All the information's online on the Arts Council website.
Yeah, that's a good thing they're doing there. And I'm sure more things are going to come down the pipeline. But the comforting thing, it's not really comforting, but we're all suffering together. Like when I go broke, I know everybody else will be broke. So we'll just all be poor forever and together.
I love how 2020 has just been
huge nosedive.
Yeah, this is a new year, new me. This
is
the new us, I guess, guys. It's totally surreal, and having like you guys to talk to is great, and seeing you and just being able to feel camaraderie and friendship in the midst of all this, that's what's important.
Yeah, I've been getting messages from a lot of old friends, and I've been reaching out to people. So it's a good time to do that with all this uncertainty in the world, really take stock of what matters and try to just make sure there's no loose ends,
Definitely.
Yeah. And people that are on the front lines, like people in the music industry, people in the food and restaurant industry, hotel, airline, retail, all of the industries that those people are on the front line of of this overnight effect. And then you have your healthcare workers who are completely, and first responders. And
they are literally on the front lines.
Yeah, grocery store employees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how they're holding up, but we're grateful that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking to a lot of nurses the last week from different hospitals around Indy, and there's an anxiety there. It's not bad yet, but they know it's coming, and they're gearing up for it. And they're all saying already that they know they're underprepared. So it's kind of weird thinking about going into battle knowing that you're underprepared like that with an unknown enemy. So it's crazy. I commend them.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
All the nurses and doctors and healthcare workers out there, I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple on the show.
Good.
Who are we having, Joy?
Healthcare workers, Glenn.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get a couple of my nurse and doctor friends, but they're super busy and tired. So
Gwen Sunkel, she's a nurse practitioner and a local comic. She's amazing. She did a Facebook Live yesterday where people could ask her questions about how to stay calm and ask questions about how it's contracted and what you can do to prevent it. And it was amazing that she was just there to answer people's, live questions. We'll also have Holly Miller on. She's director of a home health company and also an owner of Blackacre Brewing. So she's getting the double, blow of owning a brewery and a restaurant and, bar business, as well as being in healthcare. We're going to have my mom on. She's a retired nurse. She's also in that demographic that is very vulnerable. So, I want to talk to her ask her, we've been talking, have you ever seen anything like this in your life, and kind of get someone's viewpoint of that demographic too, who are extremely susceptible. So, wow, I just got a notification. Zoom removed the 40 time limit on us. So that's
interesting.
Great.
Oh, I should get more coffee. We can go all day.
Yeah, we can invite 99 more people and talk for all hours. Just keep it on.
Just have everybody talk at once too.
So, Mike, I'm going to ask every guest this just because listening to music's really helped me during this time. Is there an album or music you've been listening to that's been helping you process all this?
That's the strange part about this. My entire life is music always. And I've just kind of kept it really quiet since this all started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I just have disconnected from music for the last week and just listened to my mind. So I started to miss it last night and I started composing music again. So I'm probably going to try to dig into stuff that I've never even listened to before. And I was going to put out a kind of an ask later this week about recommendations, because I want to really broaden my horizons during this time and get into some weird stuff. So I think I kind of got burnt out. And so now I'm just going to take this time to find something new, get re-inspired about music.
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
You can listen to the music of Santeria, some bata drumming.
Hell yeah.
It'll put you in a trance.
I'm going to do a post and I want everybody to just add a link or a title in there.
I'll send you some links.
Hell yeah. I'll keep sending you memes I find for your compilation.
It's keeping me alive, you guys. It's keeping me going.
There's some really good memes out there.
I have a lot more faith in humanity after reading some of these. I mean, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I was crying last night. And while I was in the middle of just total dying laughter, I almost started really crying, going through such a weird roller coaster of emotions right now, where things are funny, but it's so sad that it's funny and that people are sitting around. These are real things they're thinking about, like wiping your butt with a coffee filter is just
or a sock. Gross. The misplaced sock, the ones without their matching partners. Those are great memes.
Yeah, it's a new world, guys. I'm glad that we're in it together, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love you guys. And Mike, we'll just keep checking in with you. Is there anything else that you want to get out there? I know we want to send people to the website. They can donate to staff. They can buy gift cards for Square Cat. As of now, shows are postponed. Festivals are postponed. So we'll all just keep watching the news, following you guys on social media.
We don't know what's going on. We're anticipating that this is going to last till at least June, honestly. So we obviously canceled the Ballyhoo, which was going to be June 5th and 6th. It's a major bummer.
Heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bummer. It's a great event, and it fucking sucks that we have to do this. But everything's available online. Our inventory, obviously. Record Store Day got moved to June 20th. Is it June 20th? It is June 20th, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Can you fact check me on that?
I think it's the weekend of 19th. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
Is it the 18th? Is it the 20th? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's the 20th.
Okay. But we'll see if that happens. Hopefully it does. But I mean, everything's so uncertain right now. We don't know. Yeah. I'm not getting my hopes up about anything.
Yeah, you don't want to plan anything when, yeah, so unpredictable.
It is June 20th.
Strange times we live in. June 20th.
Yeah.
Join us at a Record Store Day, June 20th, Square Cat Vinyl, unless the world is canceled again.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I know we were supposed to live stream again from the Back Alley Valley. We absolutely had the best time doing that last year. Got some really weird and fun interviews out of it with some amazing musicians. We just had so much fun on Planet Propaganda. But it was so sad to see that. You guys it was impossible to plan it, wasn't it, and coordinate it? Yeah,
like there was an issue with deposits having to be paid at a certain time and thousands of dollars that could have just like evaporated if we paid the deposits, and none of the bands really know what their touring schedule is going to be like now. We don't even know if we'll be allowed to gather still in June. So there's just all kinds of stuff. It's a bummer too. I was really looking forward to hanging out with Space.
Yes.
My dude, Jake Ingalls from Flaming Lips is in Space. I love that band.
I was at that show. They have the coolest lights I've seen, like their own DIY lights, LED lights. It was awesome. And the music's great. So I hope that can.
They are beautiful people. Beautiful souls.
Yeah. So if people don't know, Back Alley Valley is a psychedelic art and music festival that Square Cat has every year in Fountain Square. This would have been what year, Mike?
Year 4.
Year 4. So
yeah. We were also going to do a new folk fest in September, but we've canceled it too, just because it's impossible to plan anything right now. So
yeah.
But that was going to be called Oodalali, and it was supposed to be like a throwback to the Virginia Avenue Folk Fest, just a smaller version. But hey, maybe next year or maybe 2 years.
Man, it's so sad.
We're going to come back stronger than ever, guys. I have faith. And Mike, you are somebody that is an uplifting force in our music community and brings people together. So we just, it'll just be in a different way for a while. But I've got faith and a lot of love for Square Cat and your people. So,
well, thank you. We love you. I miss my Square Cat people. I hope we can get back. And we had a lot of plans in the works, so this kind of put a halt to everything. We have the Bottle Works thing opening later this year.
Oh yeah.
And who knows how anything's going to look. So.
Oh man.
But I've had plenty of time to think, and I think I'm going to get my pilot's license and just fly for a while.
Take me.
Maybe I'll just run away to Alaska and become a bush pilot. That's kind of my dream. So
that'd be amazing. Just come back and pick us up. Don't forget about us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mike. Well, It's been great talking to you. We'll check in. We got nothing but time, so keep up to date. I'm sure there'll be more news in the coming days and weeks.
Inevitably.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for chatting with us.
Love y'all.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Mic drop. Peace. I'm out. Bye.